Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. The last TWS earphones I looked at left quite a bit to be desired in terms of bass and even volume output, but not these ones right here. So these are the T3s, they're from a company called Tranya. Let's check them out.
So in the box you'll find two leaflets, one's a user guide, the other's a user manual. We have some spare ear tips and a micro USB cable. We've got the battery indicator right here. There's a magnet on the top of the lid, well, in the lid right here, that holds it closed. I wish it was a little bit stronger because it has actually opened up inside my bag. Now they've gone with this clear, smooth style plastic here that already has a couple of scratches on it, so I can see after long-term use this is going to get quite scratched up. Because it is transparent, however, you can see when they are charging. So right now you can see that one of them's charging with the white light on, and this is good though because you can quickly look at it and realize that, hey, they're fully charged now and they're ready to use. So the charge time for them is going to be about 40 minutes it takes, and then around about 2 hours to charge the headphones and the case, which gives you an additional 60 hours of playback time. On the back is where you'll find the micro USB. Now I wish this was Type-C, but it's not really too much of a deal breaker, I feel. There's Type-C on my Puma slides, but you can see the difference in case size. So this one really is huge. Much better battery life, of course. I do like the build quality of the case of this one, the materials used, but I think the size-wise, when you look at them, there's a huge difference here, and I prefer having the smaller one, of course, because it's just a little bit more portable and more pocketable. So your total travel weight is 56 grams, which is very good. And then the earbuds themselves, they are only 5.5 grams each, making them super light. So the build I find to be good. It's fine, the plastics they have used, there's no sharp edges or anything like that. So the outside of them, they haven't gone with rubber right around here, which would give them a little bit better grip. But as it is, they don't fall out at all. So we've got hardware click-in buttons. Once you place them in, of course, they start to charge. Taking them out, they automatically pair up to your mobile phone if you've paired them before. Otherwise, on first use, for example, they will enter in the pairing mode. So these earbuds, they do not use aptX, unfortunately, so the latency is not great on these. I do not recommend using them for watching YouTube videos or just movies and video content in general, because you will find that it is out of sync by quite a few milliseconds, making it very annoying. It looks a little bit like an old Bruce Lee movie.
So to comment on the comfort of these, that they do have a good seal, and so they fit in your ear good, but it doesn't have rubber around them like I have with the Puma slides. So at times it feels like they might fall out, but they have not fallen out for me. And that includes jumping, moving around. You're not really, I believe, going to have any issues. So they do have a good seal to them, and they do block out quite a bit of ambient noise as a result. So there's a bit of passive noise reduction there, which is great. The other thing too to note is that when you use the touch controls, well, the control, because it's a physical click-in button, it works 100% of the time. Other ones for me, that using the touch controls, you have to tap, and then it didn't work. Okay, stop the music, tap again, now it works. Next track, tap, tap, didn't work, tap it again. It's very hit and miss, but not with this physical click-in button. You can actually hear it click, of course, when you press it in, which I can now. So the audio quality is one thing, of course, that is personal preference, but for me, these do sound good. Definitely a lot better than the Puma slide, which has surprised me. The Puma slide, as I mentioned in that review, I found to be lacking in bass, and I really had to bolster and boost up with a equalizer the lows on that one to get some decent bass out of them, and I still wasn't 100% satisfied. But these, very good on bass. So if you're a bass lover, deep bass, and you want really good high volume, then these are ones to go for. But I did notice that when you start to pass about 70% volume, the bass comes a little bit too much, that I had to tone it down a little bit, because the bass will start to affect the mids a little bit, and vocals, you will notice, won't sound quite as good. But when you're listening about 50% volume or 40% that I did all the time, I found them to be balanced. Area where they are lacking is perhaps a little bit with the treble. It doesn't sound quite as crisp and as clean as I would want it to compared to some of the wired headphones I have. So there's a big difference there between still the Bluetooth and the wired, at least for me. Give me wired any day, but they do sound good and recommended over the Puma slide for me, definitely. So battery life, you're looking, my testing, I got 5 hours and 39 minutes from a single charge. The case will give you an additional, they claim 60 hours, but it's more like 45, 50 hours more that you're gonna get from the case. So that is good in terms of battery life, because there's so many out there that only last for 3-4 hours. I would have liked to have seen 8 hours because they claim 6 to 8, but it really depends on your volume. So my test was at 50% volume. I just left them running. I used them all the time, and I always had my phone relatively close to me. So the further the distance I think the more energy they need to consume to keep the signal there. So the signal strength breaking up, were there any problems? No. Okay, I can walk 2 or 3 rooms away and they still keep going and they don't break up. So the antenna, the reception on them is excellent there. That is another good area of these. So they don't have aptX, so you're going to get a bit of lag with video in terms of audio there. You will notice it's not in sync. So they're not for watching videos, or YouTube videos were the worst. It looks like a Bruce Lee movie. You see the person's mouth moving and then the sound comes a couple of milliseconds later, and yeah, it's just not no show for me. For that, really wide is the best, or aptX. Of course, it had better latency. So overall, I think these are decent. I would like to have seen the aptX support, would have been great. A Type-C port on here also would have been great, but that's minor. I mean, it's not a deal breaker. The case does pick up some scratches. The magnet could be a little bit stronger. One time in my bag, I noticed it was open, so a little bit of dust and things got in there. For the $49 US price, I feel the sound quality, yes, definitely recommend it over the Puma Slide. Battery life, yeah, okay, I wish it was a little bit better. But I think they're good, but the price could come down a little bit because it's a very competitive market. There are a lot of other good options out there too as well. So thank you so much for watching this. Oh, I almost forgot voice call quality too from the microphones it has on here. Not the best. I think we're lacking a little bit. It's not quite as clear as it could be. I gave these to my wife, so she was calling me. I was listening to the phone on the air, and I thought, you know, it's not as good as the phone. Definitely not as good as a phone. I think because of the noise cancellation, it's not going to be the same in that area there. Now, I couldn't get them to work in mono either. They're supposed to be able to work individually, so only the right one would work for me. So I remove it from the case, paired it up, and just use the right one without any problems. But when I tried to use just the left by itself, I couldn't connect to it. I searched with Bluetooth, couldn't find it. So that is another area too. If you wanted to use them both separately, you're stuck with just using, if you want to use it as mono for voice calls, only the right ear and not the left one. Thank you so much for watching this review. I hope you liked it, and I do hope to see you back in the channel here. Bye for now.